In the pages that follow, penned by the creative mind of Emmanuel-David Noel-Solages, I invite you to embark on a journey through the labyrinthine corridors of the human experience, where tales of triumph and tragedy, hope and despair, intertwine to form the rich tapestry of life itself. This book is not merely a collection of words on a page, it is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a celebration of the indomitable will to overcome adversity, and a beacon of hope in a world too often shrouded in darkness. Within these pages, you will encounter stories of courage and perseverance, of dreams pursued and obstacles surmounted, all meticulously crafted by the skilled hand of Emmanuel-David Noel-Solages. You will meet characters whose lives intersect in unexpected ways, whose struggles and triumphs mirror our own, and whose journeys will linger in your heart long after you turn the final page. But this book is more than just a compilation of stories. It is a reflection of the myriad facets of the human condition, a mirror held up to the complexities of our shared existence. Through the lens of fiction, we glimpse the truth of our own lives, and in the characters we meet, we see echoes of ourselves, our hopes, our fears, and our dreams. As you embark on this literary odyssey, guided by the masterful storytelling of Emmanuel-David Noel-Solages, I encourage you to immerse yourself fully in the world within these pages, to let go of the constraints of time and space, and to surrender to the power of storytelling. For in the act of reading, we unlock doors to worlds unknown, and in the stories we discover, we find a mirror to our own souls. So, dear reader, I invite you to journey with Emmanuel-David Noel-Solages into the realm of imagination, where anything is possible, and the only limit is the boundless expanse of our own creativity. Together, let us explore the depths of the human heart, the heights of the human spirit, and the infinite possibilities that lie within the pages of this book. Success takes obstacles, knowledge, and eternal strive. Prelude. The delivery. I often ask myself, what is the ultimate purpose of my presence on this earth? Although I am on a constant quest to locate the answer, the fruits of my labor feel like a never-ending story. I decided to share my personal endeavors with you strangers, knowing that it would be the most uplifting experience of my life. Needless to say, that fear of failure is the most ubiquitous emotion taking place here. I will attempt to facilitate your cursory glance in order to have you peruse thoroughly through the detailed ventures of my journey. Being part of this social media era, I am hopeful that your attention span won't be sectioned before the epilogue of my breathless spiel. Let's take a walk in my shoes. Chapter 1. The Mistake of Identity. A summer night of 1984 was when I first laid my eyes on my mother's face, who had been 12 hours in labor. She often repeated surgical procedure was made necessary for my appearance into this world. I think that you guessed, calling me Big Head was her way of reminding me the struggle she had been through. My father was kept skeptical about my arrival. He did not understand the bright tone of my complexion, although it was clearly obvious that my mother was the reason behind it. His old-school ways led to him thinking I was not his due to my fair pigmentation. As a response to his unfounded argument, the following year my mother gave birth to my sibling. In fear of having my father deny his existence as well, she made a statement by attributing this newborn as a junior. The feeling of having a son named after you is indescribable. I guess manifesting your love in one direction is how you make a clear announcement that your first attempt was an epic failure. Growing up, I felt his distant behavior had a more profound meaning. My young age was a defined explanation to my inability to assess the friction between our two souls. While in nursing school, my mom had managed to survive and feed my brother and I with monthly welfare checks. She often had to leave us unattended because she was taking night classes at the time. The guilt of leaving two underaged offspring barely old enough to be in elementary school usually forced her to leave the gathering earlier than scheduled. I remember receiving a box of Nintendo at the entrance of our 4.5 located on Burnham and St. Roch in the heart of my childhood neighborhood park extension. It felt like the whole world had stopped. We played for hours, not knowing the real intentions behind this man's gift. At this age, the figment of your imagination can embellish the harsh truth of your reality. After multiple attempts, Mom and Dad figured their relationship wouldn't last. One fall morning, the dagger went too deep inside the wound. While my father was on the phone, my mother repeatedly manifested her interest in obtaining the car keys in order to get herself a pack of cigarettes. In response, my father mentioned that he would leave with her. The constant back and forth led to an argument that eventually blossomed into a physical altercation. It was my first time witnessing this degree of violence. To see my father inflict that amount of pain towards a being physically impaired was astonishing. My brother and I attempted to stop this carnage, but in return got a taste of the haymaker we did not expect him to throw. Hearing the sound from her head pounding constantly on the wall was a sight I will never forget. It did not take long for the neighbors to get involved. The police automatically surfaced, knowing that this incident could escalate to greater heights. My restless father was arrested on site, and my brother and I got taken into custody. Spending 2 days with the foster care program was indeed the result of this nonsense. The police asked my mom on numerous occasions if she wanted to press charges. She did not have the heart to throw him in the dirt, although at the time she felt that was the best punishment for his actions. This inconvenient outcome gave birth to him packing his stuff for good. The struggle really started after his departure. It even got to a point where my mom had to beg for money in order to put food on the table. On that particular day, a good Samaritan came to our rescue by offering her a $20 bill. We were able to survive off bread and peanut butter while waiting for the next welfare check. After my mom's graduation in nursing school in 1994, we eventually found a financial equilibrium. They had offered her a night full-time position at the hospital. She rewarded her accomplishment by purchasing a blue Pontiac Sunbird 94. I was 2 years away from attending high school, and so far my introduction to the education system was a bullying experience. My small body frame was for some particular reason a point of interest for those kids unable to cope with their hyperactivity disorder. To most, I was classified as a geek. I made it alive with barely any scratches. High school was not exactly paradise, but it was a new step. On the first year, the main topic that kept on floating around was the school dance. The night finally arrived, and I made the mistake of letting my mom act as my stylist for the event. My Sunday morning assembly was the laughter of the night. I got trolled as soon as I laid my head in the classroom the following Monday. It felt like the revival of buried emotions I had while in elementary school. The 3 years I spent there were very helpful to build up my character. I witnessed the star basketball player get stabbed over an egotistical confrontation. During that time, gang members were all over the place. The school turf was now the perfect ground for street beef settlements. Chapter 2. Survival of the fittest. Despite the challenges and turmoil that marked my early years, I refused to succumb to despair. I realized early on that life was a battlefield, and to thrive I had to embrace the mantra of survival of the fittest. High school wasn't just about academic pursuits, it was about survival in a harsh environment where adversity lurked around every corner. The streets surrounding the school were a constant reminder of the dangers that awaited those who were not vigilant. But I didn't let fear paralyze me. Instead, I turned my focus inward, honing my mental and physical strength to navigate the treacherous waters of adolescence. I immersed myself in books, finding solace in the pages of stories that transported me to worlds far removed from my own. I also discovered the power of resilience. Every setback, every taunt, every challenge only fueled my determination to rise above my circumstances. I refused to be defined by the color of my skin or the circumstances of my birth. Instead, I forged my own path, one step at a time. As I matured, I realized that success wasn't just about individual achievement, it was about lifting others up along the way. I learned that true strength lies not in domination, but in compassion and empathy. Despite the odds stacked against me, I refused to be a victim of circumstance. I embraced the philosophy of mind over matter, believing that with enough determination and perseverance, anything was possible. And so, armed with an unwavering spirit and an insatiable thirst for knowledge, I embarked on a journey of self-discovery and growth. I pursued higher education, determined to break free from the cycle of poverty and ignorance that had plagued my family for generations. Along the way, I encountered countless obstacles and setbacks. There were moments when I questioned whether I had what it took to succeed. But each time I faltered, I reminded myself of the struggles I had overcome, the battles I had won against all odds. And slowly but surely, my efforts began to bear fruit. I graduated from college with honors, a testament to my resilience and determination. But even then, I knew that my journey was far from over. Today, as I look back on the winding road that brought me to where I am filled with gratitude for the lessons learned and the obstacles overcome. I know that the path ahead will be fraught with challenges and uncertainties, but I also know that I am prepared to face whatever comes my way. For success is not merely the absence of obstacles, it is the triumph over them. It is the knowledge that no matter how many times we fall, we have the strength to rise again, stronger and more determined than ever before. And so I march forward, head held high, knowing that with perseverance, resilience, and unwavering determination, anything is possible. For success takes obstacles, but with eternal striving, anything is within reach. Chapter 3. The power of education. Education became my lifeline, a beacon of hope illuminating the path towards a brighter future. Growing up in the midst of adversity, I quickly learned that knowledge was not just power, it was liberation. With each lesson learned, each concept grasped, I felt myself breaking free from the constraints of my circumstances. But education was not always readily accessible to me. As a first-generation college student from a low-income family, I faced numerous obstacles along the way. Financial struggles threatened to derail my dreams before they even had a chance to take root. The cost of textbooks, tuition fees, and living expenses seemed insurmountable at times. Yet, despite the odds stacked against me, I refused to give up. I became a master of resourcefulness by getting myself a part-time jobs to fund my education. I juggled multiple responsibilities, balancing academic pursuits with work and family obligations. There were days when exhaustion threatened to consume me, when the weight of my responsibilities felt too heavy to bear. But I persevered, driven by a relentless determination to defy expectations and prove that success was within my reach. And as I immersed myself in the world of academia, I discovered the transformative power of learning. Each lecture, each assignment, each interaction with professors and peers expanded my horizons, challenging me to think critically, to question the world around me, to imagine new possibilities. I devoured books on subjects ranging from literature to mathematics, hungry for knowledge and eager to unlock the secrets of the universe. But education was not just about acquiring knowledge, it was about empowerment. It was about gaining the skills and confidence needed to navigate the complexities of the modern world. It was about unlocking doors of opportunity that had long been closed to me, opening up pathways to success that I had once deemed impossible. And so, armed with the power of education, I set out to carve my own path in life. I pursued higher education with a fervor bordering on obsession, determined to break free from the cycle of poverty and ignorance that had plagued my family for generations. And though the road ahead was long and arduous, I knew that with perseverance and determination, anything was possible. Chapter 4. The Courage to Dream. Growing up in a neighborhood plagued by violence and poverty, it would have been easy to succumb to despair, to resign myself to a life of mediocrity and resignation. But I refused to accept defeat. I refused to believe that my fate was predetermined by the circumstances of my birth. Instead, I dared to imagine a future filled with possibility, a future where poverty and inequality were relics of the past, where every individual had the opportunity to pursue their passions and fulfill their potential. And though the road ahead was fraught with challenges and uncertainties, I refused to waver in my determination to make my dreams a reality. But dreaming alone was not enough. I knew that I had to take action, to step outside of my comfort zone and into the unknown. And so, with courage as my compass, I embarked on a journey of self-discovery and exploration, daring to push the boundaries of what was possible. Along the way, I encountered setbacks and failures, moments of doubt and uncertainty. But with each stumble, I picked myself up and pressed onward, fueled by the belief that no dream was too big and no obstacle too great to overcome. And slowly but surely, my dreams began to take shape. I found myself surrounded by a community of like-minded individuals, united in our shared vision for a better world. Together we worked tirelessly to turn our dreams into reality, refusing to be deterred by the naysayers and skeptics who said it couldn't be done. And as I look back on the journey that brought me to where I am today, I am filled with gratitude for the courage to dream, to believe in something greater than myself. For it is through the power of dreams that we can change the world, one courageous step at a time. Chapter 5. The Art of Resilience. Resilience became my greatest ally in the face of adversity. Time and time again, I was tested by life's trials and tribulations, but each time I emerged stronger and more determined than before. I learned that resilience was not just about bouncing back from setbacks, it was about turning adversity into opportunity, transforming pain into purpose. And so, with each challenge that came my way, I refused to be defeated, drawing strength from the depths of my soul to persevere against all odds. But resilience was not a solitary pursuit. I leaned on the support of my family and friends, who stood by my side through thick and thin. Together we weathered the storms of life, finding solace in each other's company and strength in our shared determination to overcome. And as I navigated the twists and turns of my journey, I discovered the true power of resilience, the ability to rise above circumstances, to forge a path forward in the face of uncertainty. I realized that no matter how dark the night may seem, there is always a glimmer of hope on the horizon, a light that guides us through the darkest of times. And so, armed with the art of resilience, I pressed onward, knowing that no obstacle could stand in the way of my dreams. For it is through resilience that we find the courage to face our fears, to embrace the unknown, and to emerge victorious in the end. Chapter 6. The Joy of Service. Service became my calling, my reason for being. I discovered that true fulfillment came not from personal gain, but from the act of giving back to others, of making a positive impact on the world around me. I volunteered my time and energy to causes close to my heart, from having deep conversations with friends going through hardship along with educating my surrounding about the importance of financial freedom. And with each act of service I felt a sense of purpose and meaning that transcended the mundane concerns of everyday life. But service was not just about altruism, it was about empathy and compassion, about seeing the humanity in every individual and reaching out a helping hand in times of need. I learned that true greatness lies not in wealth or power, but in the ability to lift others up and make a difference in their lives. And so, I dedicated myself wholeheartedly to the pursuit of service, knowing that in giving, I received far more than I could ever hope to give. For it is through service that we find true fulfillment, that we connect with something greater than ourselves and leave a lasting legacy of love and kindness in our wake. Chapter 7. The Legacy of Hope. As I reflect on the journey that brought me to where I am today, I am filled with gratitude for the countless blessings that have been bestowed upon me. But more than that, I am filled with hope for a future where all individuals are given the opportunity to thrive, regardless of their background or circumstances. Growing up in a neighborhood rife with poverty and violence, hope often felt like a distant dream, a flickering flame struggling to survive amidst the darkness. But even in the bleakest of times, hope remained my guiding light, a beacon of possibility that refused to be extinguished. I witnessed firsthand the transformative power of hope, how it has the ability to uplift, inspire, and unite. In the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, hope gave me the strength to persevere, to believe in something greater than myself. But hope was not just a passive force, it was a call to action, a challenge to roll up my sleeves and work towards a better future. And so, armed with hope as my ally, I set out to make a difference in the world, to be a voice for those who had been silenced by injustice and inequality. I volunteered my time to attend weekly meetings for Bible study with Pastor Yannick. Although through acquiring knowledge from the man above, needless to say that with constant trials, faith is the main guidance to overcome adversity. But hope was not without its challenges. There were moments of doubt and despair, times when it felt like the weight of the world was too heavy to bear. Yet, even in my darkest moments, hope remained steadfast, a source of strength and resilience that carried me through the storm. And as I look back on the impact that hope has had on my life, I am reminded of its enduring legacy. For hope is not just a fleeting emotion, it is a transformative force that has the power to change lives, communities, and even the world. Today, as I stand on the precipice of the future, I am filled with hope for what lies ahead. I know that the road ahead will be fraught with challenges and uncertainties, but I also know that as long as we hold on to hope, anything is possible. And so I carry the legacy of hope with me wherever I go, knowing that as long as we believe in a brighter tomorrow, we can overcome any obstacle, defy any odds, and build a world where hope reigns supreme. For in the end, it is not the challenges we face that define us, but how we rise to meet them. And with hope as our guiding light, we can create a future filled with endless possibilities. Chapter 8. The Power of Community. In the tapestry of life, woven with the threads of our shared experiences, I discovered the profound significance of community. It was within the embrace of my community that I found refuge amidst life's storms, a sanctuary where I could seek solace and support, and a haven where my dreams could take flight. In the tumultuous landscape of adversity, it was my community that served as the sturdy anchor, grounding me amidst the tempests of uncertainty. Whether it was the reassuring presence of family, the unwavering loyalty of friends, or the collective strength of like-minded individuals united in a common cause, I found solace in the knowledge that I was not alone. But community was not merely a passive bystander in the unfolding drama of my life. It was an active participant, a catalyst for change, and a force for good in the world. Through the power of collective action, I witnessed the transformative impact of solidarity as ordinary individuals banded together to confront injustice, challenge inequality, and effect meaningful change. I discovered that the true essence of community lies not in proximity or similarity, but in a shared sense of purpose and belonging. It was in the camaraderie of shared struggles and triumphs that I found kinship, empathy, and a deep-seated sense of belonging that transcended the boundaries of race, class, and creed. Through the power of community, I learned that together we are stronger. Together we can overcome any obstacle, weather any storm, and achieve feats that were once deemed impossible. For it is in the collective spirit of unity, resilience, and compassion that we find the courage to confront the challenges of our time and build a brighter future for all. Chapter 9. The Promise of Tomorrow. As I stand on the precipice of the future, gazing out at the horizon of possibility, I am filled with a sense of awe and wonder at the boundless potential that lies before us. I envision a tomorrow where the echoes of inequality and injustice are drowned out by the chorus of unity, compassion, and progress. In this future that I dare to dream of, education is not just a privilege reserved for the privileged few, but a fundamental right accessible to all. Every child, regardless of their background or circumstances, has the opportunity to unlock their full potential, pursue their passions, and contribute to the betterment of society. I envision a future where healthcare is not a luxury reserved for the wealthy elite, but a basic human right afforded to every individual. Access to quality healthcare is universal, ensuring that no one is left behind or marginalized due to lack of resources or affordability. In this future that I strive towards, diversity is not merely tolerated, but celebrated as a source of strength, innovation, and resilience. We embrace our differences, recognizing that it is our collective diversity that enriches the fabric of society and propels us towards progress and prosperity. But achieving this vision will require courage, determination, and a steadfast commitment to justice and equality. It will require us to confront the systemic barriers and institutional injustices that perpetuate inequality and marginalization. It will require us to stand in solidarity with the most vulnerable among us and advocate for policies and practices that uplift and empower all members of society. And so, as I look towards the horizon of tomorrow, I do so with hope and anticipation, knowing that the promise of a brighter future is within our grasp. Together, we can build a world where every individual has the opportunity to thrive, where justice, equality, and compassion reign supreme. Chapter 10. A conclusion embracing the journey. As I bring this chapter of my life's journey to a close, I am filled with a profound sense of gratitude for the experiences that have shaped me, the lessons that have guided me, and the people who have walked alongside me every step of the way. I have learned that life is not merely a series of destinations to be reached, but a journey to be embraced, a journey marked by twists and turns, triumphs and setbacks, joys and sorrows that shape us into the individuals we are meant to become. I have learned that true success is not measured by material wealth or social status, but by the impact we have on the world around us, the lives we touch, and the difference we make in the lives of others. I have learned that strength lies not in the absence of struggle, but in the resilience, courage, and compassion we exhibit in the face of adversity. It is through our struggles that we find our greatest triumphs, and it is through our challenges that we discover our deepest reservoirs of strength. But above all, I have learned that hope is the greatest gift we can give ourselves and others. It is hope that sustains us in the darkest of times, inspires us to reach for the stars, and guides us towards a future filled with endless possibilities. As I bid farewell to this chapter of my life's journey, I do so with a heart filled with gratitude and a spirit renewed with hope. For I know that the best is yet to come, and that as long as we continue to embrace the journey with open hearts and open minds, the possibilities are truly limitless. I step forward into the unknown with courage, conviction, and an unwavering belief in the power of hope to light the way. For in the end, it is not the destination that matters, but the journey itself, and I am grateful for every step of the way.